Hey friends, how you doing? This is Coach Jose here. Welcome to our training number 1 of our free training series. First of all, I just want to say thank you that you're here. I'm going to keep it very short and concise, but with lots of helpful information. So you leave this lecture with the information necessary to understand why a high nutrient density diet is the one to follow if you want to reverse insulin resistance. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so today we'll be talking about how you can lose weight and eliminate your diabetic medications in a short period of time. Here in the picture on the right, you can see one of our former members of our program. Her name is Angie, and she actually lost 21 pounds and eliminated her insulin and metformin that she was taking before starting the program. And all of this was achieved in less than 10 weeks. It is a pretty impressive testimonial that we have from Angie. And I thought that it was very fitting for this lecture in which I'll teach you how she did it and how you can do it yourself. So you might be asking yourself, what is the secret? You probably have tried multiple times to lose weight, to reverse type 2 diabetes in the past, and nothing has worked. And that is the reason why you're watching this video. That is the reason why you're following us. And I am very happy that you're here because I want to share this with you right now. And there's no actual secret that is being hidden from you. There's just information that you might not really know up until today. And I just want to share this information with you so you understand the concepts behind nutrition that allow a human to reverse metabolic conditions such as type 2 diabetes, and also allow for weight loss to happen. Now, with that being said, the three main factors that you need to understand is calorie density, nutrient density, and consistency. I would say that is the magic formula to our program and why people are reversing their condition this way. So I'm going to go into each of them. I'll explain what it is and how you can implement it on your day-to-day life. Before I dive into this chart from a published scientific paper, I just want to give you some background onto what are calories and more specifically, what is calorie density, because there is high calorie density foods and then there's low calorie density foods, and I'll explain which one is better for weight loss. So calories is just a form of energy that we get from food in order to survive. And calories mostly come from the three macronutrients, which are protein, carbohydrates, and fats. Carbohydrates contain about 4 calories per gram, the same for protein, and fats contain 9 calories per gram. So out of those 3 macronutrients, if you consume the one with the highest amount of calories, then it goes without saying that you're putting more calories inside of your body. Now, it also happens to be that fat is also that macronutrient that when it comes from certain sources, such as animal products, fat is actually detrimental for type 2 diabetes, and it actually fuels the underlying cause of type 2 diabetes, which is insulin resistance. So what we tell our clients is to avoid these foods that are high on calorie density and high on fat, and focus on food that are lower on calorie density and higher on nutrient density. So that is just a little summary of what I'm gonna explain here on this chart, but I wanted you to understand what we're gonna dive into. So in this chart, what you can see is the approximate food calories per pound of food. And you can see a clear distinction of which foods are higher on calorie density and which ones are lower on calorie density. The ones that are lower are in green, and the ones that are higher in calorie density are the ones in red. Now, as you can tell, there's a point on this line where at about 1,200 calories, these foods start becoming higher and higher and higher in calorie density. And I don't know if you have noticed already, but those are the foods that are actually detrimental for your health. So as you can tell, right at 1,200 calories, we have per pound of food, we have pork, chicken, beef, fish, and eggs. And the calorie density of food just goes higher and higher as you move towards the right, with oil, butter, or in other words, pure fat being the highest amount of calories per pound of food. Now, with that being said, if you look a little bit lower on the graph, right over here on these two arrows, it also happens to be that the foods that are high on calorie density are also the foods that are low in nutrient density and are the ones that are actually causing injury to your cells. And if you move more towards the left, you're going to see the foods that are lower on calorie density, but they are also the foods that are high in nutrient density. So why are people losing weight and reversing type 2 diabetes when they're eating to the left of the green arrow? The reason being is because they can eat as much of these foods as they want and basically stay fully satiated without putting too many calories in their bodies. So the foods that we have that are low in calorie density are all green leafy vegetables. So we're talking about spinach, kale, arugula, bok choy, you name it. And then as we move a little bit towards the right of the lowest calorie density food, then we have more vegetables and mushrooms, and we have fruits, and then we have grains, whole grains, beans, potatoes, flax seeds. And if you move towards the 1,000 calorie line, then we have a little bit higher density plant-based foods such as avocado, nuts, and soy. So when we tell our clients to follow a plant-based whole food approach, this is exactly what we mean. If they only focus on eating to the left of the green arrow, they will experience weight loss paired with insulin sensitivity because they are not eating these high-fat foods that are causing insulin resistance in the first place. Now, the video training number 2 and number 3 are going to explain a little bit more about the science of insulin resistance and why fat specifically is causing it. But for today's lecture, you only need to understand the concept of calorie density, which is very well explained in this chart. So what you need to get from this lecture is that if you avoid the foods to the right of the green arrow, you will be only eating the plant-based food groups, such as leafy greens, fruits, legumes, and grains. If you stick within those guidelines, then it's plain science that your body will lose weight and that you will reverse insulin resistance, which is the underlying cause of type 2 diabetes. So when you focus on the left of the arrow, on the foods to the left of the arrow, you will be eating foods that are high in nutrient density. And this means that you're putting the most amount of nutrients in your body per calorie consumed. So when you're eating these foods that are very, very high on nutrient density, you're putting inside of your body phytochemicals, vitamins, minerals, fiber, all of those compounds which actually help you regulate your blood glucose levels. And you will be avoiding those foods that are much higher in calorie density and much higher in fat that are actually detrimental to your cells and for the regeneration of cells to reverse insulin resistance. Now, as you can tell here on this bar graph, you can tell that the foods that have the most amount of nutrient density are the raw leafy vegetables, solid green vegetables, non-green, non-starchy vegetables, and it goes up to beans, fruits, starchy vegetables, whole grains, and raw nuts and seeds. Now, if you go higher than that, then you start getting into the animal products, which are fish, dairy, wild meats, eggs, red meat, full-fat dairy, cheese, and refined grains, which have actually been stripped of their nutritional content. So this graph explains in a more visual way the amount of nutrients that you're putting inside of your body per calorie consumed when you stick to the plant-based food groups that we recommend to reverse insulin resistance. Why are we recommending to eat mostly plant-based foods and avoid animal products? The main reason behind this is phytonutrients, also known as phytochemicals, which are nutrients that are found on plant-based foods and only on plant-based foods, which that is the reason why they're called phytonutrients, because phyto is a root word meaning plant. And these phytochemicals actually give some protective effects to your body. And aside from the protective effects, we also spoke about their low calorie density, and they're actually very high on nutrient density. So it is the perfect combination to improve your health. These phytochemicals are found in fruits, in vegetables, in grains, legumes, nuts, seeds. Spices are very high on antioxidants, herbs, tea, coffee, and cocoa. Those are the main food groups that you should be focusing on if you want to increase your phytochemical content. Now, out of the ones that I mentioned, some people are gonna have some reactions to coffee, which is high in caffeine, which actually affects your adrenal glands to release cortisol, and cortisol is a hormone that increases your blood glucose levels. Some people experience this effect, some people don't. So if you are one of those people that are very sensitive to caffeine, the only food group that you would have to take out of there is coffee. The rest, please include them in high quantities in your diet and reduce the amount of animal products that you're eating on a daily basis, and you will see the results that Angie is seeing in our program. The other thing that you're gonna find on phytochemicals is antioxidants, high amounts of antioxidants, which actually neutralize these compounds called free radicals, which cause disease at a cellular level. So the more antioxidants that you put in your body, the better chances that you have at regenerating your cells in order to heal yourself naturally. Again, the more of these plant-based foods that you include in your diet, the more antioxidants that you will be putting in, the more minerals, the more water, fiber, and I think I said minerals already, that will be helping you reverse this condition. So again, this is no rocket science, and this is not information that it's being hidden from you. You can look it up online to see how these foods are helping the body reverse certain diseases. Now, I'm not gonna dive deeply into this chart that is categorizing all the foods that contain the specific kinds of phytonutrients, but the main point to understand is that the reason why fruits and vegetables are colorful is because they contain these phytochemicals. So when you go to the produce section of a supermarket, that is the reason why everything is very colorful. You see oranges and yellows and purples and reds and greens. And the reason is because these vegetables contain all of these phytonutrients that will be helpful for your health. And also, it is important to understand that these compounds, there are different colors, but they are different colors because they contain different chemical compounds that have specific effects on your body. You have probably heard of carotenoids, which are in high concentration in orange foods such as carrots, mangoes, sweet potato, squash, and so on. And carotenoids are really good for your vision, for your eye health. Or you have probably heard of lycopene, which is in high concentration in red foods such as tomatoes, guava, red grapefruit, and so on, which is really good for your heart health, and they're full of antioxidants. So that is the beauty of eating a plant-based whole food diet, that they are rich on all of these phytochemicals that are helping you, that are helping your body thrive in all different aspects, in your vision health and your kidney health and your heart health and so on. So the more of these foods that you include in your diet, the better health that you're going to have. So that brings me to Angie, who is a very recent member of our Reversing T2D 10-week program. In only 10 weeks, she lost 21 pounds. That is amazing. That is almost like unheard of in the diet world. But the reason why most diets don't work is because they are not paying attention to the fundamentals of nutrition, which is like calorie density. I don't know if you have heard of Weight Watchers or the paleo diet or the keto diet, all of those foods that are, or all of those diets that are fad diets, that people do see some weight loss reduction, but they don't see the kind of weight loss reduction paired with improved health that a plant-based whole food diet gives you. So on top of losing weight, Angie also came into the program injecting insulin and taking metformin. And after 10 weeks, she's not taking those medications anymore because her body doesn't need it to stay at a stable blood glucose level. And that is the beauty of eating a plant-based whole food diet for the reversal of disease with the added benefits of weight loss, if that is what you're looking for.
When they see, also I lost like 20 pounds.
Wow.
Since
What?
I started the program, I lost 20 pounds. Yeah. And I was like surprised. I was like, wait, I'm eating more.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I'm eating more and yet I'm losing weight, and it was just like amazing to see like your body, like my skin, like everything, just like you can just see it in so many ways, like how your diet affects your body. Like there's no other way around it, there's no other explanation. Like your food is just, just makes so much difference in everything, like your health, everything,
What was
your
your starting
hair.
weight when you joined the program?
When I joined, I was at 165.
And then you lost 20 pounds.
And I lost 20 pounds. So I'm at like 145, 146.
Wow.
That's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like, so from the start of the program to like the end of the 10 weeks?
Yes.
Wow. Are you on any medications right now?
No.
Wow. So you were on insulin before and now you're on nothing.
I'm on nothing. Yeah.
She was on metformin and insulin.
I was on metformin and first metformin and then insulin, and then I'm not on anything anymore. And like the doctor took me off because I was actually having hypoglycemia at night. I remember I mentioned. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like Jose said, now I get to look forward more to like not depending on any medication and being excited about that,
So what is the secret that allowed Angie to achieve this milestone for her health? The reason is the first slide that I showed you. That secret is nutrient density, calorie density, and consistency. And Angie had, she was part of the Reversing T2D 10-week program, which gave her that aspect of consistency in order to do things day after day after day to get better, to improve her health. And she also followed the principles of calorie density. She was mostly focusing on the left of the green arrow, eating plant-based whole foods. And she was also focusing on adding all of these fruits and vegetables to her diet, which allowed her body to reverse insulin resistance. On top of that, she was avoiding animal products as we taught her on the program, and you can see the results for yourself. This is a remarkable testimonial that we have, and we wanted to feature her. So just for the fact that we want to show you that this is possible and that you can do it yourself. Now, with this information, I hope that you are empowered to go ahead and do it on 2021, which is right around the corner, and achieve those health goals that you have always wanted to achieve. We're here to help you out. So any questions that you have, you can email us to team@reversingt2d.com, and myself or Diana are going to respond to you personally. Now, stay tuned for the second video, which is coming on Wednesday, and the other one, which will be coming on Friday. I hope that this was a helpful lecture. And again, I am an open book for any questions that you may have. Thank you for being here.